This is your Barbados Today morning news update for Monday, July the 2nd. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Thanks for joining us. Topping the news at this hour, the Mia Motley-led administration and the International Monetary Fund will open negotiations today in Bridgetown with the aim of reaching agreement for a balance of payments support for the ailing economy. Minister in the Ministry of Finance, Ryan Strachan, says Barbados has put together a strong negotiating team, and he anticipates that between now and the end of the talks on July the 12th, that there can at least be a working agreement. Strachan says debt restructuring will form part of the negotiations. He said the discussions, which will also involve the private sector, will focus on debt with domestic and foreign creditors as well. A veteran educator is urging the government to scrap the common entrance examination and replace it with diagnostic testing at ages 7, 9, and 11. In an open letter to the Minister of Education, Santria Bradshaw, yesterday, John Goddard said the aim of the diagnostic testing would be to identify and correct student weaknesses, suggesting that the common entrance encourages teachers to concentrate on those capable of bringing glory to the school to the disadvantage of academically weak or slow students. Goddard also recommended that children should be transferred to schools within easy access when they have mastered the basic skills of numeracy and literacy and are ready for secondary education. Goddard, who has taught at both the so-called prestigious and low-ranked schools, also wants the government to make 4 of the secondary schools sixth form colleges of arts, science and technology, and humanities and social sciences. The veteran educator is also suggesting that a few vocational schools should be provided for those who, having reached third form in secondary school, show an aptitude and preference for a vocational program. In sports now, former captains Rahul Dravid of India, Ricky Ponting of Australia, and retired England woman wicketkeeper batswoman Claire Taylor were inducted into the ICC Cricket Hall of Fame during a glittering ceremony in Dublin yesterday. Dravid became only the 5th player from India to be named in the Cricket Hall of Fame, while Ponting is the 25th from Australia to do so. Taylor is the 7th woman overall and the 3rd woman player from England to be named in the list.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Barbados Today, news you can trust.
Welcome back with news from the region now. Antigua and Barbuda Prime Minister Gaston Brown has announced that the governments of Grenada and St. Lucia have agreed to subsidize the operations of regional airline Liat. These governments have been 2 of the airline's biggest critics, and after years of dialogue, Brown said they now see it fit to support the operations of the company. At the same time, Brown said that St. Kitts and Nevis, led by Dr. Timothy Harris, is still not ready to contribute to Liat. In more regional news, the Trinidad and Tobago government has sanctioned the resumption of a long-stalled energy project that's expected to bring in $2 billion in taxes and a combined total of 1,415 jobs on completion. The Minister of Energy says the much-beleaguered gas-to-liquids project shall go ahead more than a decade after it was stalled by cost overruns and arbitration.
13 years after the state-owned oil company Petrotrin entered a joint venture with World GTL to establish a company to build and operate a gas-to-liquids plant that suffered cost overruns, cost taxpayers TT $2.7 billion with no plant being completed to date, the Energy Minister told the House of Representatives,
a review of the project suggested that it was worthy of government support. The financial benefits include US $35 million payment to Petrotrin, a capital injection of US $125 million into the economy, and $2 billion in taxes and statutory payment over the life of the project. During the construction phase, which is projected at 12 months, 700 new jobs will be provided.
In addition, the completed plant is to provide 65 permanent skilled jobs and 650 indirect supply chain jobs.
And on the international scene, a man went on a stabbing spree at a 3-year-old's birthday party at an apartment complex housing refugee families at Boise, the United States, injuring 9 people, including 6 children. More in this Reuters report.
30-year-old Timothy Kenner was arrested after allegedly going on a stabbing spree Saturday night at a Boise, Idaho apartment complex home to many refugee families. Officials say 9 people, including children, were sent to the hospital, 4 with life-threatening injuries.
It's not a symbol or a representation of our community of Boise, but it's a single evil individual who attacked people with no provocation that we are aware of.
Police say Kenner, who is from Los Angeles, was a temporary resident at the complex and had been asked to leave on Friday. Some victims were in apartments, others were in a parking lot, according to authorities.
The age range of the victims varies dramatically, and it's affected all aspects of the families within the apartment complex.
Kenner was being held without bail Sunday morning at Ada County Jail on 15 charges.
We haven't had anything involving this amount of victims in a single attack in Boise in the history of the department.
A motive is not yet known. Kenner, who has an extensive criminal record, is scheduled to appear in court on Monday.
And that's news and the sports. But for the very latest, visit our website at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, or like us on Facebook, and sign up for breaking news alerts via WhatsApp. We are also on Izumi Media in bus terminals, as well as screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. You can also hear us on Mix 96.9 FM. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Have a fantastic day.